Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Tutor. In this lecture, we are going to study about S3 encryption. This is a very important topic if you are going to appear for any of the associate level exams in the AWS. So, let's grab a quick lecture before we move to the hands-on. What exactly is encryption? So, there are two types of encryption. One is the encryption in transit. The second one is the encryption at rest. So when your data is moving between one source to another, the encryption which happens over the channel is called encryption in transit. It generally happens over HTTPS request and it requires SSL and TLS certificates. In this lecture, we will be studying more about the encryption at rest. For S3, there are four major types of encryption. If you see here, we have SSE S3, that is the server-side encryption which S3 offers. Then SSE KMS, server-side encryption using the KMS service. Then we have SSE client-side. Then we have client-side encryption. Let's go to the first one. So, it is the first type of encryption when you upload an object into a bucket. You have to remember the keywords. So when you go and appear in the exams, there might be some manipulations and you have to remember these words so that you navigate through the correct answer. The first one, SSE S3, always uses AES 256 type of encryption. In this type of encryption, the AWS manages both the data and the master key. So what exactly happens? You have a data in your system and you are going to upload this object into the S3 bucket. Now, the AWS will be providing a key, that is the data key, and it will be encrypting it with a master key, and both these keys are managed by AWS itself. So, this encryption happens when you upload the data, that is the object, into the bucket. At the second time, when you are going to retrieve the data, the decryption automatically happens. And also this decryption is done by AWS itself. Now moving to the second one, that is the SSE KMS, server-side encryption, which uses AWS Key Management Service. It is somewhat similar to SSE S3, but here AWS manages the data key, but the user has been given the control of the master key. So the user can update, delete and rotate the master keys. So there is a little bit add-on flexibility. Also, it is more secure manner because the KMS service is integrated with CloudTrail that we will be studying later on. So this can be used for the audit purpose. So every time these keys are used, the CloudTrail will record the API request made and you will get to know which user and from which IP these keys are being accessed. So it provides with you the additional features of security. Now comes the third, that is server-side encryption C, SSE. Here the user manages its own keys. You manage both the data key and master key. Okay, so you are transferring the keys over the HTTPS traffic. In the header, you have to remember that the keys are being provided in the HTTPS only. So if the question comes up and you see HTTPS, you have to remember SSE. Okay, then the last one is the client-side encryption. Here, the encryption and decryption, the keys and everything is being managed by the client itself, depending on the requirements. Suppose the client has purchased its own tool, an own software to manage the keys. In that case, the encryption will be done beforehand and the data, the files, the objects will be transferred into the S3 bucket, and during the retrieval time, it's the client who is responsible for decrypting it. So the client is the whole source owner here. Let's quickly move to the AWS console and see some hands-on. So here we have created an empty bucket. I will go to the properties and I will see the default encryption option. By default, the option is none, and you see there are only two options, but in the theory we studied there are four options, right? So this SSAC is not available in the console, but it is available when you are accessing it through the AWS CLI. That is the command line interface, and client-side encryption is done from the client side itself, so you require a third-party tool for that. So suppose this AES 256 is actually the SSE S3. So let's select this one. Okay, and save it. We will go here and we will quickly attach a file. Let's upload this file. It's success. Now if you see, the file is AES 256 encryption. In this manner, you can go here and go for AWS KMS. In this, you have to select a key. For this, you can go into the AWS KMS section and generate a key, and sometimes you will also see this AWS S3. This is the default key provided by the AWS S3 service, or you can go and create your own custom key. That's all in this lecture. Hope you enjoyed it and happy learning.